Oh, hey, we're live here. Sorry, y'all caught me dancing once again. I love that. I absolutely love that intro. It is absolutely the best. As you can see, it is just me today, George Reed FF from Toilets to Titles, bringing you TGIF. Yes, we are so committed here at Toilets to Titles that we will even do this after a major holiday like Thanksgiving. First off, I hope everybody had an absolutely fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you had all the turkey and the stuffing and the breading and the mac and cheese and the greens and anything, all the ham, all you can eat. I hope your Thanksgiving was absolutely fantastic. I know mine was. It was my second Thanksgiving of the week. Long story there that we're just not really going to get into. But yes, I get two Thanksgivings every year. I also get two Christmas dinners every year. Life is absolutely fantastic. Um, as I said earlier, it's just me today. I was going to be joined by Justin, but apparently, even after Thanksgiving, he still visits his proctologist on a regular basis. And by regular basis, I mean he visits the proctologist at least once a week. So, I mean, I'm hoping he's okay. Steve is jumping in here asking if Justin's on the injury list. Steve, no, he's at the proctologist. He goes there once a week. It's typically on Fridays. We started a little bit early today. Justin couldn't get back from the proctologist. He's been there for 4 or 5 hours getting examined. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but hopefully everything is okay, and hopefully Justin can join us again next week. Um, Before we jump into the show, I do have to go over some things because why don't I? First off, hit the like and subscribe button. You could greatly help the show. We are striving to get to 1,000 viewers, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are over the threshold of 820. Fun fact, Coach Sheps, John Sheps, he made a tweet that he showed us all in the chat 1 year ago yesterday. We were at 400 subscribers on YouTube. Now we're over 820, so we've doubled our amount of subscribers in over a year. We're hoping to hit 800. I'm sorry, we're hoping to hit 1,000 by the end of the season. So please hit the like and subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter. My handle, as you know, is George Reed FF. Justin, who's normally here with me, but again, proctologist duties. He is at Justin FF underscore, excuse me. You could follow us on Toilets to Titles at Toilets to Titles. Throw us an Apple podcast review or iTunes review. We would greatly appreciate it. The 5 stars really help us out. They help the algorithm. They move us closer to the top of the chart. So when you're looking for a fantastic podcast or, DFS, injury shows, start sits, Devi, IDP, like we have all of it. We have everything that you could want here at Toilets to Titles. So hitting that like and subscribe, giving us that 5-star review really helps the algorithms and moves us to the top of the list. ToiletsToTitles.com is our website. There you can sign up to become a Patreon. We have 6 different Patreon levels. We have the $3, which gets you into the Discord chat. $5 is early access to waiver wire episodes. You get an invite to the Frankenstein League, plus you get the Discord chat. So each level you get the one before it as well. So I'm not going to sit here and repeat myself the whole time. $7.50 you get one-on-one draft advice and yearly DFS advice. That DFS advice is absolutely fantastic. Those guys at Dollars to Deuces, absolutely on the money week in, week out. If you do $10, you get free entry into the Frankenstein League. $20, you get one-on-one roster analysis, 30-minute episodes breaking down your league's draft. And then the $1 million is the one that Joe and I really like to push. The $1 million gets you a first-class flight to New York, where you can then drive to Jersey with Joe. Joe will drive you, and you get to watch a Giants game on the 50-yard line. And then I will fly you to Miami. I will meet you and I will pick you up at Miami. We will go to a Dolphin game, and I will treat you to a Dolphins game for the $1 million Patreon level. That's what it includes. It's all inclusive. We will go out of our way to help you. We'll take you to the Shula's Steakhouse, one of the finest steakhouses in Miami. We'll go down there. We'll have a nice, big, fat, juicy steak any way you like it. If you like it medium well, perfect. If you like it well done with ketchup, hey, I don't judge. To each their own. I will think you're a serial killer, but outside of that, I won't. I absolutely will not judge you. Let me see here. We got. He was fine last night, Steve. He was great last night, but he had to go to the proctologist today. I told you this. You need to know about a different Justin, as in Justin Fields. He is first on my list. So I will get to that in a second. And you are still a T2T fanatic. Steve, I am also a T2T fanatic, and I miss you, big guy. It was great spending time with you in Ohio this year. Can't wait to do it again next year. So, with all of the housekeeping done, and that was a lot of housekeeping. I normally let Justin do that because I'll ramble and ramble and ramble. We are going to jump right into here per Steve's request. He needed to know about a different Justin, as in Justin Fields. Justin Fields got a dislocated shoulder. As of right now, it's basically a game time decision. They have not said whether or not he's going to play or not. He's legitimately a game time decision. Here's some of the notes we have from Dr. Porras from Fantasy Points. Justin Fields is day-to-day. Tag means very little. It means even less to those who remember David Montgomery was day-to-day after his injuries versus the Texans, but missed week 4. So that implies the Texans use that day-to-day tag very, very loosely. Fields fantasy managers should be looking for replacements until practice reports come out. So I can tell you right now, he has practiced very limited all week long. I don't expect Justin Fields to play. I would be looking for another options, to the point where I benched Justin Fields for Daniel Jones this week because I didn't want to get stuck trying to scramble to find a quarterback to play on Sunday. I had Danny Dimes. He'd been doing okay. He did all right for me. I'm not going to complain. I mean, I could, because he could have done better. But I flexed him out. I just benched him for the 1 week. I know we're getting close here to the playoffs. I'd rather them rest him and have him to be a full go for my playoffs than a week or two before where I could find somebody to substitute. So that's where we stand on Justin Fields. I know it's not much help, Steve, but he's a true game time decision. Next on our list, we have Kyle Pitts. This one kind of stings. I believe we talked about it a little bit last week. Just an update with him. He's suffered a torn MCL that requires surgery. This is following an MRI today. This was on Monday when I put these in the notes. I'm not really expecting Kyle Pitts back the rest of the season. I believe they put him on IR. I'm not expecting him to be back at all for this fantasy season, which in a way is kind of good because now you know for sure you can just bench him and you don't have to worry about clogging up a roster spot. It's not like he had been doing much for you anyway. So that's actually kind of good news that he is done for the season. Next on our list, we have Wan'Dale Robinson. This one kind of stings as well. Wan'Dale went out there, had a huge game for you, and he got injured in the game. He's got a torn ACL. He had like 9 catches and 100 receiving yards prior to his injury. So he was out there balling for you, and it just sucks to see him go down to a torn ACL. This is clearly going to be season ending. It definitely puts a question mark at the beginning of next season whether he'll be healthy enough to go because of how late in the season this torn ACL is. So he's done for this year. That's really all we're going to concern ourselves with on this show. So you can drop him. That's per Adam Schefter on Twitter. Next on our list, we have former Miami Dolphins running back Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds has a high ankle sprain. Justin, myself, Dr. Porras, we've talked about these high ankle sprains before with these players. Typically, it's a 3 to 5 week injury before they come back completely healed. They may play a little before that, but for them to actually be back to where they were prior to the injury, it's about a 3 to 5 week window. Chase Edmonds really wasn't doing a whole lot for you anyway. So it's not like, you're losing a valuable piece. Broncos running back Chase Edmonds suffered a high ankle sprain on Sunday. He's now expected to miss a few weeks, per sources. So no Edmonds in the backfield that has parted ways with Melvin Gordon. Right now, his projected return date is December 17th through December 24th. So, like I said, it's about a 3 to 5 week window for him on that specific injury. This next one is going to cost a lot of fantasy managers. Joe Mixon suffered a concussion in last week, and he's already been ruled out for this week. Mixon was ruled out of week 11 with a concussion. This is his second documented concussion since 2017. Concussions are bad. We know this. It seems like there's been a hyper focus on concussions this year. There's a silver lining here is that Mixon has had nearly 5 years to recover from the last one, as some research indicates recovery from a concussion can take up to 2 years. Concussions don't operate on a timeline, so this will take some monitoring. If he goes week 12, there's a moderate risk of re-injury. It sucks because it hurts that you're losing, one of the top running backs in the NFL with Joe Mixon. But personally, I'm kind of glad that they are taking this cautious approach with him. Allow him to sit this week, bring him back next week. Right now, his projected return date is December 3rd, and that's coming from Coach Zach Taylor. No, excuse me, I got to get some water. This is one of those things where it stinks not having Justin here, because normally he could fill in while I sip on my water. Next on our list, Kadarius Toney. Hey, what do you know? All the jokes about Kadarius Toney and how his hamstring really wasn't bothering him, and it was all just a ploy not to have to play. He showed up on the injury report with the hamstring. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be a reoccurring issue with him. Everybody knows how those soft tissues are. Those soft tissue issues, they tend to linger, and they're very reoccurring. Tony's hamstring injuries have been a wild card all season. He'll continue to be volatile with these injuries until he has time to truly get right. At this point, he's high risk to sit in week 12. His projected return date is December 3rd, which is next week. So, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they've ruled Kadarius Toney out this week. And those are information is coming from Dr. Edwin Porras via Fantasy Points. Next on our list is not somebody who got injured this season, but it's just it's somebody I'm really high on, and I want you guys to be aware of this. Jameson Williams was designated to return to practice. While the rookie is still at risk for soft tissue injuries and knee flare-ups, the Lions have played this intelligently and should be close to a full go from a physical perspective. His return date is anywhere between this week and next week. I'm leaning more towards next week. I don't think they roll him out there this week. Matter of fact, I know they don't, because they did play on Thanksgiving and Jameson Williams didn't play. So I know he's not going to be out there this week. Thinking I'm using the noodle. So I would look for him to be back either next week or the week after. Check your waiver wires. I picked him up in a league just as a stash. He was one of the most highly touted rookies in this class. He would be absolutely crushing it right now if he was healthy all season. He's not somebody who is going to help you. He's not somebody I would recommend starting next week, but he's definitely worth somebody where you could put on your bench, put it as a stash, and see what it's like with him and Goff. He's definitely somebody I really do want on my roster. That's some high quality H2O. I just wanted to throw that there. I love that movie, The Water Boy. Next on our list, Marquise Brown. He's got a Liz Frank injury. Again, it's not something that happened last week, but I still wanted to bring it up. He was not activated from IR and is out at least 1 more week. He's projected to return either this week or next. I have not heard any updates as of Friday on Marquise Brown, whether or not they're going to activate him for this weekend. Check your waiver wires. If he's somebody that, the league manager had to drop, He's definitely worth picking up. That's the reason I put him on this list to talk about. He is coming back from a list, Frank. Maybe sit him a week, see how he does. But he's definitely somebody who can help your fantasy team in the long term if he's available on your waivers. So he's definitely worth a roster spot, in my opinion. Next on our list, we have Michael Williams, high ankle sprain. As you know, he came back from a high ankle sprain, and according to Dr. Porras, Williams re-aggravated his high ankle sprain. Brendan Staley says it's not considered significant, which is good. Williams will have a week to get right, but he's highly volatile moving forward. That's a word I just can't say. I don't know why I put it in here. I want to sound smart, I guess. Moving forward until he can prove he's healthy. Projected return date is this weekend. Mike Williams hasn't practiced all. This is the update as of today. Mike Williams hasn't practiced all week and is ruled out for week 12. His projected return date is either next week or the following week, so a week or two, which should not surprise anybody. Like these high ankle sprains, as I mentioned earlier, they're 3 to 5 weeks. I think Mike Williams was kind of rushed back. I'm not surprised he re-aggravated the high ankle sprain. It is a soft tissue issue. Those things are easy to re-injure, so it doesn't really come as much of a surprise to me. Next on our list is Gerald Everett in his groin. Hopefully he doesn't have the same groin issues as Vernon Davis did during the combine. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Gerald Everett was a full participant in Thursday and should return in week 12. He's moderately volatile for re-injury, again, according to Dr. Porras. So the tight end landscape is ugly. No Mike Williams. I wouldn't mind getting some Jared Everett where I could. If he gets a touchdown, it's a fantastic week. Other than that, he's got a pretty safe floor, in my opinion. Next on our list is another groin injury. These things just are popping up everywhere, apparently. Rondell Moore, he's got a groin injury. So Steve wanted to correct me, said he heard what Brown was playing. I didn't see that, Steve. If he is playing, that is absolutely fantastic news. I will have to do a little bit of digging into that. I didn't get an update on him before I hit the little live button. So let's get back to Rondell Moore and his groin. As of Friday afternoon, Moore had not practiced this week. Typically, these injuries result in 1 to 3 weeks of missed time. Projected return date is in a week or two. So Rondell Moore's probably not playing this week. God, that's just man. Those weapons on there are just dropping like flies right now. No Hollywood Brown, no Rondell Moore, no Zach Ertz. Luckily, D-Hop is back. That's the saving grace. Speaking of being back, this next one I feel to be slightly important for all of our fantasy leagues. Let me see. Need to click here. Sorry about this. This is where Justin normally comes in. Well, bam, Kyler Murray, his hamstring. So I don't know if it was a hamstring or if he just took off last weekend for the double XP for Modern Warfare 2. I believe it was more to do with the hamstring. Others will tell you, no, it was definitely Modern Warfare 2. Either way, he's a trooper. He's a warrior. He's got a pretty good KD ratio as far as I'm concerned. Per Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray will return in week 12. There's still minimal to moderate volatility due to reoccurrence risk. For that reason, Murray should be used sparingly in cash games. So if you have him in redraft or dynasty, fire him up. And if you're doing DFS, get with Joe, get with Nate, get with Rich, get with Mike, get with our Dollar to Deuces fam, and they will help you set a roster that does not include Kyler Murray. excuse me. Next on our list, Kadarius Toney. He has been ruled out this week, so another team that has got wide receivers just dropping like flies. They're dropping like fries. You can tell I'm hungry. Okay, I haven't really had a whole lot to eat today, and as you can tell by the bright pumpkin-like face here, or tomato-like face here, I spent most of the day again in the sun. Kadarius Toney's got hamstring issues. He's been ruled out for week 12. He's projected to return next week. Again, hamstrings. I can't stress enough. These things are tricky. They are extremely high risk to be re-injured. When Kadarius Toney comes back, honestly, I wouldn't have him rated anything higher than just a flex. I'm just concerned for the re-injury. I mean, look at Julio Jones. Fantastic talent, but just can't stay healthy because of his hamstring issues. Next on our list is Mr. Leonard Fournette. Hip pointer. As of right now, he's doubtful to play in week 12. I wouldn't expect him to play this week. I would be looking at either next week or the following week. I understand this, the Bucs, okay? They're not very good this year. Leonard Fournette, heal up, come back, okay? Just heal up, come back. You have no reason to rush to come back. Your team's probably going to make the playoffs, but they're just not going to be very good. Speaking of teams that are good and will probably make the playoffs, Miami Dolphins, Raheem Mostert has been ruled doubtful for week 12 versus the Texans. I can tell you right now he's not playing. Fire up Jeff Wilson, fire up Myles Gaskin, and Selvin Ahmed. Those will be the three running backs they go with. Mostert had a knee injury that cost him some playing time, not this past week because they want to buy, but the previous week. So this is something that we're just going to have to monitor, find out how long he's going to be out. But this happens every year with Raheem Mostert. So it should not really surprise anybody that he is missing time because he misses time every single year. Expected return dates. Now, these are guys, and I next time I will add these to the list so I can pop them up on little banners. But these are guys that are currently injured that we have talked about. And excuse me, we are expecting them back within, I would say, a week or so. I'm going to go through and talk about each one. We some of these we've talked about, some of these we haven't. I just want it to be like a little reminder that, hey, these guys, are not playing. Potentially they can come back, and just be aware if they're on your waiver wire, you may want to pick them up. So guys expected to come back in week 12, Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, again, we're waiting on official word for him. Leonard Fournette, we discussed, he's not going to come back this week. It'll probably be a week or two. The Ravens are really hoping Gus Edwards can come back this week. Jaylen Warren, they were hoping he can come back this week. I heard he's not coming back this week. I think he's going to be out. Mike Williams and Joe Mixon are both to be determined. As we discussed, they're both already out. Weeks 13 and 14. So this is, leading right up into the start of the playoffs, the fantasy playoffs. Justin Fields and Jamar Chase are to be determined, but we do expect them back between weeks 13 and 14 at some point. Gerald Everett, I think we discussed he's going to play, but he's probably going to be limited. Even given that, I would still start him this week, knowing how ugly the tight end landscape truly is. Jets wide receiver Corey Davis is expected back between weeks 13 and 14. Jerry Jeudy, Jamison Williams, J.K. Dobbins, and Romeo Doubs. I'm definitely checking waivers for Dobbins. I'm checking the waivers for Williams. And believe it or not, I like Corey Davis. Like, as long as they keep Zach Wilson on the bench and they go with Flacco or Mike White, who, by the way, this week it'll be Mike White, who's starting. Like, I really like Corey Davis. He was their clear-cut wide receiver one when he was playing. So I like Corey Davis. I think he's worth a stash. I've already professed my love for Williams, and given the running back landscape, J.K. Dobbins, like, yes, please, hurry back. Weeks 15 plus. These are guys who are out that, could really possibly help you in the playoffs. Kadarius Toney, Dallas Goedert, that's somebody I have stashed in every league that he was dropped in. He's expected to be back week 15. If I can get to week 15, which is the start of the playoffs, bam, tight end one. Not overall, because that's Travis Kelce, but he will be a tight end one week in, week out. So welcome back, Dallas Goedert. That is somebody I'm definitely looking to stash. Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. I have some shares of Odell Beckham Jr. stashed as well. Not expecting a whole lot from him, but, I mean, it's a flyer, right? Why not? Especially if he goes to, like, Dallas or something like that. Like, it doesn't hurt. Cooper Kupp, they have Cooper Kupp on here. I really don't expect Cooper Kupp to play again this year. I did pick him up in the one league I was in that he was dropped. It is a redraft league. I'm not expecting anything out of him. I'm not expecting the Rams to bring him back week 15 or 16 or 17, knowing, they're not playing for playoffs. They have no incentive to bring him back other than, hey, we just want to see you play post-recovery from your injury. Other than that, I can't see a reason why to bring him back. Mecole Hardman and Chase Edmonds, guys that are to be determined, which means we don't know when they're going to come back. Matt Stafford dealing with the shoulder and Juju with the concussions. I really hope Juju, I believe this is one of the most serious injuries we've seen this year with concussion between him and Tua. They both had really bad head injuries. I hope Juju takes the time that he needs to get it right. And this way, when he does come back, it is full strength and, not just for the football on the field, but, for the player as well. I don't like seeing player injuries. I really, really don't. So with that, that is this week's TGIF. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate Steve, the comments. You're still a T2T fanatic. You are the number one fanatic in my eyes. You are a member of the Title Tribe. To become a member of the Title Tribe, you got to join the Patreon, as I discussed. You can find that Patreon at toiletstitles.com/Patreon. It'll take you to the link where you can sign up for one of 6 different levels. I prefer you sign up for the $1 million patron level. Sign up for whichever one you'd like, though. With that, again, it is a holiday weekend. It is Black Friday. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. Again, I hope you guys had absolutely fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you're enjoying your turkey and your ham and your yams and your mac and cheese and your green bean casserole and your dressing and your stuffing and your cranberry sauce and everything that you and your family enjoy for Thanksgiving. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed the games yesterday. They were pretty good. I hope you enjoy your games this weekend. Stay tuned to tonight where we have the P2P guys. That is Boomer, which is Jared, and Nino, which is DDP. They've got some special guests lined up for our Devi show. Until next time. Oh, I got another comment here. Who is it? It's Steve. How did I know? Why to hold it down. Good show. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you, brother. I know Justin was, like I said, proctologist. He had to get that examination done. It just happens when you start getting up there in age like Justin. So it is what it is. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.